guys, good evening everybody. So कैसे हम लोग सब? All are doing good? That's really great. तैयारी आपकी हो रही है ना अच्छे से नीट की? First week of July, I guess that is the tentative date of NEET. Yes, we are right. So first week of July is going to be the tentative date of NEET. और हम लोग ये सीरीज स्टार्ट करी है, ऑल दोस्त जिन्होंने पिछली वाली वीडियोस नहीं करी उनके लिए this is the sixth chapter which we are doing. We are doing 45 questions from each chapter और 45 PYQs I must say, जो previous year questions है उनको हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं so that हमारी प्रैक्टिस अच्छे से हो सके, हमें पता चल सके कि किस तरह के एग्जाम्स हम लोगों को या किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस हमको एग्जाम में आने वाले हैं. So this is one series which I have started, which we will definitely complete the whole syllabus before our exams, right? So आपको आइडिया हो जाएगा कि किस तरह के आपको क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. अब फाइनली आपकी तैयारी क्या होनी चाहिए? You still have good 4 months to go, March, April, May, June, right? So tentatively 22nd June के बाद ही एग्जाम आपका होगा. So we still have around 3.5 to 4 months to go. Now is the time to just go through your NCRTs lastly, और अगर आपको स्कोर करना है 180 on 180 in chemistry, तो you have to practice a lot of questions. वो आपको एक स्ट्रॉन्ग कॉन्फिडेंस देता है अपने अंदर टू क्रैक दिस. ठीक है. So we are moving on to the next one, and all those who have not downloaded the app, please download the app. Description box में उसका लिंक है. उस पे हम लोगों ने नीट की एक क्रैश कोर्स शुरू किया है for 4 months और till your exam, right? And उस पे हम लोग फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री कर रहे हैं as if now, और कॉस्ट उसकी सिर्फ 1500, right? So that's the NEET booster course for all those who want to score 160 plus in your chemistry. So chemistry and bio जो है ये दो आपके subjects है जो आपको बहुत easily sail through कराते हैं from the or through the NEET exam, right? So let's hit the questions, guys. We are going on to thermodynamics, a very important chapter. 2 questions from this section. Energetics में से हम लोग expect करते हैं. One is the calculations of delta H, and the second one is the calculation of delta G, right? So let's go on to question number 1 over here. The heat of combustion of carbon to carbon dioxide is minus 393. Oh, I forgot to take my pen. All right. So what are we saying is minus 393. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, now we are ready. So minus 393.5 kilojoules per mole. The heat released upon formation of 35.2 grams of carbon dioxide from carbon and oxygen gas. अब ये यूनिटरी मेथड वाला क्वेश्चन है, तो इसमें हम लोगों को 1 मोल जो है 1 मोल ऑफ कंबशन, क्योंकि यहाँ पे किलोजूल्स पर मोल दे रखा है आपको, ठीक है. 44 ग्राम्स इसका मोलर मास है, तो 44 ग्राम्स कितनी हीट दे रहा है? माइनस 393.5. सिंपल यूनिटरी मेथड का क्वेश्चन. 35.2 कितनी देगा? माइनस 393.5 अपॉन 44 into 35.2. So the answer that is coming to 314.8 kilojoules, which is approximately equal to 315. So the correct option over here is going to be D. Very simple question. Let's go on to question number 2. Which of the following statement is correct for the spontaneous adsorption? Now adsorption जो होती है ना बच्चे, उसके लिए डेल्टा S जो है that is going to be negative. ठीक है. And अगर हम एक रिएक्शन की स्पॉन्टेनिटी देखें, that will depend upon the value of delta G, which should be negative. Gibbs Helmholtz equation क्या बोलता है? delta G that is equal to delta H minus T delta S, right? So यहाँ पे आप अगर देखोगे spontaneous absorption delta G जो है वो होना चाहिए नेगेटिव. अगर डेल्टा एस नेगेटिव है तो इसका मतलब डेल्टा एच की वैल्यू शुड बी हाईली नेगेटिव. So let's see, delta S is negative and therefore Delta H should be highly positive. Wrong. Delta S is negative and therefore delta H should be highly negative. Yes. So correct option over here is going to be B. Let's go on to question number 3. For the reaction X2O4 to 2XO2, delta U is 2.1 kilocalories and delta S is 20 calories per Kelvin at 300. डेल्टा जी की वैल्यू, तो इसके लिए हम लोग को पहले क्या कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा, डेल्टा एच की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करनी पड़ेगी. डेल्टा एच दैट इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा यू प्लस डेल्टा एन जी आर टी. डेल्टा यू की वैल्यू 2.1 किलो कैलोरीज, 2.1 into 1000 that will be equal to, क्या करेंगे हम इसको, अगर आपको किलो कैलोरीज में ही करना है, आपको कैलोरीज में करना है, तो उसके बेसिस पे हम लोग वैल्यू इसकी फाइंड करेंगे. सो आई एम गोइंग टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू कैलोरीज. 2.1 into 10 raised to power 3 calories plus delta Ng over here is 2 minus 1 or 2 minus 0 because यहाँ पे तो gaseous moles है ही नहीं. 2 minus 0 that is going to be 2 into कैलोरीज में दे रखा है तो R की वैल्यू भी आप 2 लोगे into 300. ठीक है. So this is going to be 2.1 into 10 raised to power 3 plus 2 2s are 4 3s are 1200. इसको भी हम लोग कैलोरीज में कन्वर्ट करके हमारे पास ये क्या आ जाएगा, 2100 plus 1200. ठीक है. So when you find this, this is going to come to how much, 3300. Yes. So this is 3300. ये आपके पास आ गया डेल्टा H. Now let's use the next equation over here, delta G that is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So what is the value of delta H which you have found, that is 3300 minus T, temperature given is 300 into 20. Simple calculations. 3300 minus 3 2s is 6000. So your answer that comes to how much? It will come to approximately minus 2.7. 2700. So minus 2.7 kilocalories. Correct option over here is going to be. Okay. Let's go on to question number 4. A reaction having equal energies of activation for forward and reverse reaction. So equal energy if we have over here for activation of forward and reverse reaction, then the value of delta H that will be equal to 0. So the correct option over here is going to be A. This is a simple question. Question number 5. When 5 liters of a gas mixture of methane and propane is perfectly combusted at 0 degree centigrade and 1 atmospheric pressure, 16 liters of oxygen at the same temperature and pressure is consumed. Okay. The amount of heat released from this combustion in kilojoules, delta H combustion for CH4 is given to you at 890 and delta H combustion for C3H8 is given you as 2220. So over here, let's look at the equations which we have. The first equation will be CH4 plus 2O2, which is CO2 plus 2H2O. This is what we are getting, right? And the second combustion is C3H8 plus 5O2. That is again going to give us carbon dioxide plus water. So these are the two equations, the combustion equations of the two compounds which we have. Now over here, if you're talking of the number of moles of oxygen which is, or you can say which is the total number of moles, what are they given us? 5 liters of a gas they are saying, right? So let's calculate the number of moles. That will be 5 divided by 22.4. That is the number of moles which we have, which comes to 0.22 moles, right? And similarly, let's calculate the number of moles of oxygen. That will be 16 divided by 22.4, right? Which will be equal to 0.71 moles. Okay. So we have to put an equation over here which is the number of moles of oxygen. So if we're looking at number of moles of oxygen, it is 2x plus 0.22 minus x into 5, that is equal to 0.71, because that is the number of moles which we have. So this is the total number of moles which we are taking over here. Let's calculate the value of x. The value of x, that comes to 0.13. What is going to be the heat liberated now? That is what we have to calculate. So I am doing it over here, guys. Or let's rub this entire thing and take some space. Okay. So finally what we have to do over here is that you have to calculate the heat liberated. So what is the heat liberated? That will be equal to 0.13 into 890 plus 0.09 into 2220. Okay, so this is what we have over here, and it will be equal to 316 kilojoules. So correct option over here, that is going to be right. So this is a typical question. Please practice this. Let's go on to the next question. Our next question is, three thermochemical equations are given below. Graphite plus oxygen, carbon dioxide, delta H is X. Graphite plus half of oxygen, CO2, delta H is Y. And CO plus half of 2, CO2, delta H is Z. Based on the above equation, find out which relationship is given best. So this is the Hess law equation. So equation 1, that will be equal to equation 2 plus equation 3. Okay, so this is how you will get C, and you have over here CO, and this is how you will get your equation. So what is your equation 2? C plus half of O2 to give you CO2, and CO plus half of O2 to give you CO2, right? So equation 1, that is equal to equation 2 plus equation 3. Now what is going to be the answer over here? 2 is Y and 3 is Z. So the correct option for question number 6, that is going to be B, right? Let's go on to question number 7. In which of the following reactions standard reaction entropy change delta S is positive and standard Gibbs energy change delta G naught decreases sharply with increasing temperature? Now over here, if you're looking, what is the value of delta Ng in your equation number 1? Delta Ng in this equation, that is 1 minus half, which will be equal to half, right? And what about the next ones? You have over here half, 1.5 over here. So delta Ng in the first one, that is going to be positive, increasing in the product. So that is the reason over here delta S, that is going to be positive, and delta G, that is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So delta S is positive. So increase in temperature will make T delta S more negative and delta G will decrease. Therefore, over here the correct option is going to be E. Okay, in rest of them, as you can see over here, this is delta G is, Ng is going to be negative in this case. Delta Ng is going to be negative in this case. And delta G is going to be negative in this case. 0 in this case, in fact. Delta Ng in this case is going to be 0. So you have to find out, identify in which delta Ng that is going to be positive. Okay. All right. Let's go on to question number 8. The enthalpy of fusion of water is 1.435 kilocalories per mole. The molar entropy change for the melting of ice at 0 degrees Celsius is what? So what have they given us? Enthalpy of fusion, they have given us 1.435 kilocalories per mole. What is delta S? Delta S is equal to delta H F upon temperature. Okay, so it is 1.435 as it is given in kilocalories. We will convert it into calories divided by the freezing point of water, which is 273. Very, very easy question. So the answer that comes to 5.26 calories. Correct option over here is going to be C. Let's move to question number 9. Standard enthalpy of vaporization of water at 100 degrees centigrade is 40.66. Okay. The internal energy of vaporization of water at 100 degrees is going to be what? They have also said that assume water vapor to behave like an ideal gas. So, over here, if we are taking delta G, that is equal to, correct option over here we have to find. Okay, let's say that the equation which we have is H2O liter to give us H2O gaseous. So delta Ng in this case is going to be 1. Delta E is equal to delta H minus delta NG/RT. So Ng is 1. We can take this as RT, and delta E that will be equal to, what is the value of delta H given to us? 40.66. So 40.66 into 10 raised to power 3. We are converting it into joules minus 8.314 into temperature is 373. So calculate this, and the answer which we are getting is plus 37.56. Correct option over here is going to be A. Right? Let's move to our next question then. If enthalpy change for the reaction of liquid water to steam is 30 kilojoules per mole at 27 degrees centigrade, the entropy change for the process will be what? So guys, over here again, delta G that is equal to liquid to steam, 30 kilojoules, entropy change for the process. Okay. So over here, the value of delta S that will be equal to delta H upon T. What is the value of delta H given to us is 30 into 10 raised to power 3 upon 27 is 300. So this will become equal to 100 joules per mole per Kelvin. The correct option over here is going to be D. Correct. Question number 11. Enthalpy change for the reaction 4H2H2 is okay minus 869. So यहाँ पे guys dissociation energy of H bond you have to find. So that is very easy. 2H2, this is also gaseous. Okay. So it is going to be, what have they given us? 869 minus 869.6 divided by 2. That is all which you have to do because there are 2 moles over here. So divided by 2, that is going to give us 434.8, and this is given to us as minus. So your correct option is going to be A. Question number 12. 1 minute, just give me a second. Enthalpy change, the dissociation energy of O. Bond dissociation energy will come in positive, guys. So correct option over here should be C. Please don't commit this mistake, the one which I have done over here. Correct option that is going to be C. Let's go on to our next question then. तैयार है सारे? पेपर और पेंसिल्स आपके पास हैं कि नहीं? वो बहुत जरूरी है. Okay? Please subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and download the app, which is very, very important for you and for me also. Okay, so let's go on to question number 12, guys. Which of the following is correct option for free expansion of an ideal gas? अब जो free expansion होती है उसमें सारा कुछ ही जीरो होने वाला है. Free expansion के लिए Q भी जीरो होता है और W भी जीरो होता है और डेल्टा T भी जीरो होता है. वैक्यूम में होती है ना एक्सपेंशन, तो फ्री एक्सपेंशन में एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी जीरो. करेक्ट ऑप्शन ओवर हियर इज सी. दिस इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, प्लीज मार्क इट. Let's go on to question number 13. Consider the following processes. Half of A to B plus 50, 3B, 2C plus D, 125 and 2D, E plus A, 2D, 350. Now they're saying ki you have to calculate B plus D to give us E plus 2C. What is going to be the delta value of delta H? So delta H over here, that will be equal to, let's convert this into whole number. So ये आ जाएगा half A into 2 कर देते हैं इसको, right? So this will become A to give us 2B. Okay. So the value of delta H over here, that will be equal to 300 minus 125 minus 350. Okay, so the answer that comes to minus 175 kilojoules per mole. Simple Hess law of constant summation से you have to calculate this. So manipulate इसको करोगे आप, B has to come on right side. So 3B minus 2B, that is how you get B, right? And this is D and 2D. So 2D minus D is D and E on the other side and plus 2C. 2C is right. So we will have over here 300 minus 125 minus 350, which is coming to 175. Correct option over here is going to be B. Let's go on to question number 14. For an endothermic reaction, energy of activation is EA and enthalpy of reaction is delta H. Both of these in kilojoules per mole. Minimum value of activation energy will be what? So if you remember, let's kind of look at the graphical representation over here. This is how it is going to come, right? So this is minimum value of EA. Oh, this has to go upper. Wait. So this is what we have, right? So यहाँ पे this is the reactants, this is the products, this is the value of delta H, and this is activation energy. Read the question once again for an endothermic reaction because they had given, na? So the products, they should be at a higher energy than the reactants. Only then delta H will become positive. Energy of activation and enthalpy of reaction both in kilojoules. Minimum value of E will be what? So you have to calculate over here the minimum value of E. A will be more than delta H because EA for the products, that is greater than the EA for the reactants. So correct option over here, that is going to be. Let's go on to question number 15. For an endothermic reaction, energy of activation is EA and enthalpy of reaction is delta H. Oh, this is the same question. Let's go on to question number 16. Standard entropies of X2, Y2, XY3 are 60, 40, 50 respectively for the reaction half X2. So these are all gaseous, okay? This is gaseous, and this is also gaseous. Delta H is minus 32 P at equilibrium. The temperature should be what? So if you are looking at the reaction given to us is 1 by 2 X2 plus 3 by 2 Y2 to give us X, Y3. This is the reaction. So delta S, that will be equal to summation of delta S of products और S of products minus S of reactants. Summation लेना है इसमें, ठीक है? So what is products? Products तो आपके पास 50 दे रखा है उन्होंने, so 50 minus if you're talking of the reactants over here, reactants is 1 by 2 into 60. So 1 by 2 into 60 plus 3 by 2 into 40, ठीक है? So this is 30 and this is 20. So 3 2s are 60 हो गया. 60 plus 30 is 90. So this is going to be 50 minus 90, which comes equal to minus 40. Now at equilibrium, the value of delta G will be 0. Therefore, delta H that will become equal to T delta S, right? And the value of temperature will be equal to delta H upon delta S. Delta H is how much? Minus 30 into 10 raised to power 3. That is what is given to you in the question, 30 kilojoules minus 3 upon minus 40. So the answer that comes to 750 Kelvin. Correct option is going to be A. Let's go on to question number 17. So question number 17 says match list 1 equations with list 2 type of processes and select the correct option. Okay, Kp is greater than Q. If Kp is greater than Q, then it is going to be reaction is spontaneous. Okay, so over here reaction is going to be spontaneous. So that means A is equal to 4, delta G is less than RT natural log of Q. So delta G is less than, so delta G is going to be positive, reaction is non-spontaneous. So B is going to be 1. So what are we saying? A is going to be 4, B is going to be 1, Kp is equal to Q is at equilibrium. So C is going to be 2 and T is greater than delta H upon delta S. So that is going to be spontaneous and endothermic. So our B is going to be 3. Let's see. Do we have anything of that sort? A is 4, B is 1, C is 2 and D is 3. So the correct option over here is going to be C. Let's go on to question number 18. This is again an important question, guys. You can mark a star on it. 3 moles of an ideal gas expanded spontaneously into vacuum. What is going to be the work done? So work done अगर हम लोग करते हैं, it is going to be 0. I've just told you that work done is going to be 0 in vacuum. Let's go on to question number 19. For vaporization of water at 1 atmospheric pressure, the values of delta H and delta S have been given to you. ठीक है? The temperature when Gibbs energy change for this transformation will be 0. So बहुत ही easy सा question ये आपके पास आ गया. Gibbs equation delta G. You can see that we are getting a lot of questions from Gibbs equation, guys. So please practice. PYQs है for all those who joined late, right? So delta G that is equal to delta H minus T delta S. तो अगर delta G 0 आ गया, delta H की value आ जाएगी T delta S. Delta H की value 40.63 kilojoules into 10 raised to power 3 joules में convert कर दिया. Delta S is 108.8. ठीक है? So this is the value of temperature calculated. The value of temperature that comes to 373.43. So the correct option over here is going to be. ठीक है? So we can move on to the next question then. Okay. Your next question, the following two reactions are known. F2O3 plus 3CO2 Fe plus 3CO2. Delta H has been given as minus 26.8. FeO plus CO2 FeO plus CO2 delta H is minus 16.5. The value of delta H for the following reaction. Fe2O3 plus CO2 Fe plus CO2. So again Hess law से इसको आप कर सकते हो, right? So equation 3 को हमको obtain करना है. Equation 3 को हमको obtain करना है. Fe2O3 plus CO to give us 2FeO plus CO2. तो अगर हम Fe2O3 ये फर्स्ट इक्वेशन ले ले, ठीक है, और ये हमारे पास है सेकेंड इक्वेशन. ओके, दिस इज सेकेंड इक्वेशन. Fe2 ये हमें चाहिए 3CO. Okay, so let's see what are we going to get over here. डेल्टा H हमको क्या दिया है इक्वेशन 1 के लिए -26.8 और सेकेंड के लिए -16.5, राइट. सो इक्वेशन 3 को हम लोग ऑब्टेन कर सकते हैं इक्वेशन 1, क्योंकि ये 2 FeO है तो इसको हमें 2 के साथ मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. So delta H will be equal to delta H of equation 1 minus 2 into 2. So 1 that is minus 26.8 and is equal to minus 2 into 16.5, that will be equal to 33, and minus that will become plus 33. So the answer that comes to plus 6.2, which is question number 21. The values of delta H and delta S for the reaction. This is what you have to find out. The value of delta H and delta S for the reaction graphite plus CO2 2CO are 170 and 170 kilojoules. Reaction will be spontaneous at वही same आपके पास आ गया delta S, that is equal to delta H upon T. So T will be equal to delta H upon delta S, which will be equal to delta H is 170 into 10 raised to power 3, ठीक है, upon 170, ठीक है. सो इसको जब आप कैलकुलेट करते हो, then what is the answer which you are going to get over here? अच्छा, spontaneous you have to find. So then we will not do it like this. Then it is delta G is equal to, मतलब it has to be negative ना. So T की वैल्यू यहाँ पे कितनी आ रही है 1000. So the value of temperature should be greater than this, and greater than this is only B. We need not do the second one. Okay, so delta G, that is equal to negative over here. This is what we have to get. So the temperature that has to be greater than 1000, which is the only option which we have over here is B. From the following bond energies, HH, CC, CC, CH, enthalpy of formation of the reaction. Okay guys, so you have CH2, double bond CH2 plus HH. So how many this thing is there? What is bond energy? Summation of HP of reactants minus summation of HP of products. Okay, or delta HR if you want to find out over here. Wait. So delta HR will be equal to bond energy, summation of bond energy of reactants minus summation of bond energy of products. So bond energy of reactants is going to be how much? CH2, there is one C double bond C bond, which is 606.10, and there are 4 CH bonds plus 4 into 410, right? And plus there is one HH bond 431.3, right? So this is 1 and minus, how many CC bonds are here? 1 CC bond. So CC bond energy is 336.49 and 6 CH bonds plus 6 into 410. So this is how you will calculate, guys. When you calculate this, your answer that is coming to minus 120.02. So the correct option over here is going to be B. Okay, let's take the next question, number 23. Bond dissociation energy of H2Cl2 HCl is 434, 242 and 431 kilojoules per mole respectively. Enthalpy of formation of HCl you have to find. So it's the same, you have to write down the equation H2 plus Cl2 to give us 2HCl and delta H, that will be equal to summation of bond energy of reactants minus summation of bond energy of products. So you have over here H2 is 434 plus 242 minus 2 into, there are 2 moles of this. So minus 2 into 431. Okay. So the answer that is coming to minus 186. Now, over here, this is kilojoules. You have to find it per mole. So, per mole means this is for 2 moles which we are getting. 186 divided by 2. Okay, so that will come to how much? 93 kilojoules per mole. The correct option is minus. Minus 93. अब यहाँ पे आपको प्लस भी दिया हुआ है, माइनस भी दिया हुआ है. So, you have to be very particular कि साइन हमने यहाँ पे कौन सा लगा. ठीक है guys? Okay, so let's hit the next question. हमारी next question क्या है? For the gas phase reaction, PCl5 gaseous to PCl3 gaseous plus Cl2 gaseous, which of the following conditions are correct? Okay, number of moles हमारे increase हो रहे हैं, तो delta S की value जो है वो ज्यादा होगी ना, greater. Delta S is going to be greater than 0. और वो हमें सिर्फ एक ही ऑप्शन में है, that is D. Okay, so correct option over here, that is going to be D. Delta H तो हमें दिया नहीं है, तो हमें ये question delta S की उस पे ही करना पड़ेगा. Increase in number of moles means increase in number of gaseous moles means कि delta S की जो value है, that is going to be positive. Okay, randomness increase हो रही है ना, because which of the following are not state functions? So state functions अगर आप यहाँ पे देखोगे, so that is going to be not state functions. पूछा है उन्होंने. Q plus W तो ये तो डेल्टा U आ गया ना, तो ये तो state function है. और ये आ गया H minus TS is delta G, ये भी state function है. तो इसका मतलब 2 और 3 state functions नहीं है. D is the correct option. Let's go on to question number 26. Consider the following reactions. H plus OH, X1 minus X1, H2 plus half of H2O, X2, CO2 plus this is X3 and C2H2. Okay, so they are saying enthalpy of formation of water you have to find over here. Enthalpy of formation क्या होता है कि अगर हमारे पास स्टैंडर्ड कंडीशंस में उसके एलिमेंट से जो बनता है वो स्टैंडर्ड एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन. तो यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हो, आई थिंक इट शुड बी X2. यस, H2 plus half of O2. This is gaseous, this is also gaseous. So the correct option over here is going to be D. Let's move to question number 27. Given that bond energies of HCl 432 40 kilojoules respectively and delta H of formation HCl is minus 90. Bond enthalpy of HCl you have to find over here. So over here let's find out the value of delta H, that will be summation of bond energy of products, sorry reactants minus bond energy of products. ठीक है. So अगर आप इसको find करोगे तो ये आपके पास क्या आ जाता है, half of bond energy of H2 plus bond energy of Cl2 minus bond energy of HCl. ठीक है. So this will be 1 by 2. कितना दिया हमें, 430 plus 240, right, minus 90. This is what is given to us. So this will become equal to 425 kilojoules. Correct option over here is going to be question number 28. Identify the correct statement for change of Gibbs energy for a system at constant temperature and pressure. So correct statement. Okay. So criteria of spontaneity for a process should be what? Delta G should be negative. तो वो किसमें है? A. A is delta G of system is less than 0, the process is spontaneous. B, but isme you have other conditions also which have to be followed. So the most correct one over here is going to be C. Delta G system is 0, the system has attained equilibrium. C is the correct option. Let's go on to question number 29. Assume each reaction is carried out in an open container, for which reaction delta H is equal to delta E. So we have the equation delta H that is equal to delta E plus delta NGRT. Now, if the value of, delta E plus delta NGRT, if the value of delta NG is 0, then delta H will be equal to delta E. So, delta NG is 0 for this case, delta NG that is equal to 2 minus 3 minus 1. Yes, delta Ng for this one is 0. So, correct option over here, it is going to be. Let's go on to question number 30, guys. The enthalpy and entropy change for the reaction Br2 plus Cl2 to give 2 BrCl are 30 kilojoules per mole and 105. The temperature at which the reaction will be at equilibrium. So, we have temperature that is equal to delta H upon delta S. The value of delta H is 30 into 10 raised to power 3 upon 105. Into 10 raised to power 3 upon 105, that is equal to 285.7. So the correct option is E. Let's go on to question number 31. The enthalpy of hydrogenation of cyclohexene is minus 119.5. If resonance energy is this, the enthalpy of hydrogenation will be what? Now guys, how you have to do this kind of a question? Now over here they are saying that the enthalpy of hydrogenation of cyclohexene. So this is how you will get the equation. Okay? And you have to calculate the enthalpy of hydrogenation for benzene. So benzene is going to be this plus 3H2, and this is, you're going to get cyclohexane over here. Now the formula which we use is 3, because there are 3 moles over here of H2. So 3 into delta H, and there are 3 double bonds also, minus resonance energy. ये फॉर्मूला आपने यहाँ पे यूज करना है ऐसे क्वेश्चन में. अब इस क्वेश्चन पे भी आप स्टार लगा सकते हो बिकॉज इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है. तो डेल्टा एच की वैल्यू हमको कितनी दी है? माइनस 119. So this will be 3 into minus 119.5, and minus resonance energy, minus and minus will become plus 150.4. So जब आप इसको कैलकुलेट करोगे, the answer comes to minus 208.1. So the correct option is okay. इस पे भी आप स्टार लगा सकते हो. This question is important. Question number 32. Which of the following pairs of chemical reaction is certain to result in a spontaneous exothermic and increasing disorder? मतलब इसमें the value of delta S is positive and the value of delta H is negative. Exothermic and decreasing disorder. So delta S is negative and delta H is also negative. Endothermic and increasing disorder. Delta H in this case is positive and delta S is also positive, and endothermic and decreasing disorder, delta H is positive and delta S is negative. So what are they saying? Which of the following pairs of chemical reaction is certain to result in a spontaneous reaction? So we're going to question number 32 over here. The correct option over here is going to be C. Okay, let's move to question number 33. A reaction occurs spontaneously if P delta S is less than delta H and both delta H and delta S are positive. Okay, so 33. A reaction occurs spontaneously if P delta S is greater than delta H and both delta H and delta S are positive. So correct option over here is going to be C. Let's go on to question number 34. The absolute enthalpy of neutralization for the reaction. अभी यहाँ पे आपको पता है ना कि if it is a strong acid and a strong base then it is 57.3, and if it is a weak acid and a weak base less than strong acid and a weak base less than. ठीक है? So we're going to 34 over here. Question number 34 which says MgO is an oxide of a weak base. HCl is a strong acid. So correct option is less than 57.3. Question number 35, guys. If bond energies of HH, Br, Br and HBr are 433, 192, 364, delta H for the reaction, very, very easy. So it is going to be 432 plus 433 plus 192 minus 2 into 364, which becomes equal to 103 kilojoules. Correct option is going to be D. Question number 36. Standard enthalpy and standard entropy changes for the oxidation of ammonia at 298 Kelvin is minus 382 and minus 145. Standard Gibbs energy change for the same reaction at 298 Kelvin. Okay, so you have over here the value of delta G, which is equal to delta H minus P delta S. ठीक है? So they have given us the value of delta H as minus 382.64 and minus entropy they have given as minus joules. You have to convert this into joules first, into 1000. Minus the value of T is 298 into minus 145.6. So this is how you are supposed to do this question. The value of delta G, that is coming as minus 339.3. Okay, so the correct option is B. There must be a typing error over here. यहाँ पे minus आना चाहिए. So correct option यहाँ पे B आ गया. 37. Consider entropy S as thermodynamic parameter. The criteria of spontaneity of any process should be what? ये तो easy है कि आपके पास जो total entropy होती है that should be positive. ठीक है? So delta system plus delta S surroundings should be greater than 0. Correct option is A. 38. The work done during the expansion of the gas from a volume of 4 decimeter cube to 6 decimeter cube against a constant external pressure of how much? 3 atmospheres. So how do you calculate the work done? Minus P delta V. Minus 3 एटमॉस्फेयर और वो आपको कितना दिया है 4 डेसीमीटर क्यूब, तो इसको हमको लीटर एटमॉस्फेयर में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा. दैट विल बी 3 into 101.32, ठीक है, into 6 minus 4, which is equal to 2, minus 6 into 101.32, so which will become equal to minus 608. Correct option over here is going to be okay. Let's go on to question number 39. For the reaction C3H8 plus 5O2 to give us 3CO2 plus 4H2O at constant temperature, delta H minus delta E will be what? So you have over here delta H, that is equal to delta E plus delta NGRT, right? So delta H minus delta E, that will be equal to delta G is only number of gaseous moles, please mind it. So this is 3 minus, what is the value of delta Ng over here? 3 minus 5 and 1 is 6, minus 3 RT. So the correct option over here should be D. Okay, let's move to our next question number 40. The densities of graphite and diamond at 298 are 2.25 and 3.31 grams per centimeter cube. Respectively, the standard free energy difference is equal to 1895. The pressure at which graphite will be transformed into diamond. Okay, guys. So in this case, how are we going to do this? The value of delta G, that is G, is the most useful work, and work done can be calculated as minus P delta V. Okay, what is the value of delta V over here? That will be mass upon volume. So both are carbon, 12 upon mass upon density 3.31, okay, and minus 12 upon 2.25 into 10 raised to power minus 3 liters. So this will come as minus 1.71 into 10 raised to power minus 3 liters. So work done will be equal to what? That will be equal to delta G, which is equal to minus 1.71 into 10 raised to power minus 3, pressure at which graphite will be transferred. So you have to calculate the value of pressure over here and convert it into liter atmosphere 101.32. The value of delta G is given to us as 1895. So let's put the value over here for delta G. It is 1895. When you will calculate the value of pressure over here, the value of pressure that comes to 11.07 into 10 raised to power 8 pascals. So none of it is giving us the correct answer. So this is a bonus question. Okay, the answer over here is going to be none. Let's move to our next question. What is the entropy change in joules per Kelvin per mole when 1 mole of ice is converted into water at 0 degree centigrade? The enthalpy change for the conversion of ice to liquid water is 6.0 kilojoules per mole at 0 degree centigrade. So over here the value of S, that is Q by T, okay, Q given to us is how much? 6 kilojoules. So 6 into 1000 joules upon temperature, which is 0 degree, converted into Kelvin, 273. So the answer that is coming to 21.97. So correct option over here is going to be D. Let's move to question number 42. Formation of solution from two components can be considered as pure solvent, separated solvent molecules delta H1, pure solute, separated solute molecules delta H2, separated solvent and solute molecule solution delta H3. So solution formed will be ideal if when When all these three, they will be added. So the correct option over here is going to be A. Done? Okay. For which of the following equations is delta H reaction equal to delta H formation of the product? तो इसमें मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया कि स्टैंडर्ड स्टेट्स पे हमारे पास होना चाहिए. तो लेट अस सी कि कौन सा इस पे हमारे पास आएगा. डेल्टा H फॉर्मेशन. Not this. Not this. Correct option over here should be C. Okay. So correct option is C, Xc plus 2F2 to give us XcF4. Delta HR will be equal to enthalpy of formation. The molar heat capacity of water at constant pressure C is 75 joules per Kelvin per mole, where 1 kilojoule of heat supplied to 100 grams of water, which is free to expand. The increase in temperature of water will be what? So molar heat capacity they have given to us as 75. 18 grams of water, that is equal to 1 mole. And for 1 mole it is 75. And 1 gram of water के लिए कितना हो जाएगा? That will be equal to 75 divided by its molar mass, which is equal to 18. Now what is Q? Q, that is equal to MST. Okay. So M given to us is 100 grams. Specific heat of water you have calculated as 75 upon 18. Into T. What is Q given to us? 75. Right? So when you will calculate this, it will come to 2.4. 18 divided T will be equal to, so it is coming to 2.4 Kelvin, delta T. Right. So it is coming as the value of delta T that will be equal to 1 kilojoule. So this is 1000 guys. Some confusion over here. The value of T that is equal to 2.4 Kelvin. Correct option over here is going to be B. So let's go on to the last question for today. Unit of entropy, very, very easy. What is the unit of entropy? It is, what is the unit of entropy? Joules per Kelvin per mole? Yes. So these are the questions, the most important ones which I have tried to take, which I have taken in this particular सेट ऑफ आओ प्रैक्टिस करें 6.1. ठीक है. अभी हम लोग नेक्स्ट जो सीरीज है उस या नेक्स्ट जो हमारा इसमें एपिसोड आएगा वो इक्विलिब्रियम के ऊपर आने वाला है. तब तक आप इसको अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करो. चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो, वीडियो को लाइक करो और ऐप को डाउनलोड करो. आई विल सी यू सून. टिल दैट टाइम, बाय बाय, सायोनारा. टेक गुड केयर ऑफ योरसेल्फ.